Okay, so it's been a little while since I did an update on my motorhome issue with emptying the black water tank. So I have an update on that. Some other issues I've had with this motorhome. Again, just to recap, it was my dad's, my parents' RV. My dad is the one that did everything with it. He passed away like 2 months ago. And we realized after that point, we didn't really know much about some things on this RV. Like one, the hot water tank is typically propane powered. You know, propane would heat the hot water tank. Well, he switched it over years ago to electric. So there's a different way of turning it on and figuring it out. We have yet to do it. We've gone camping twice now in it, and we just don't have hot water. It's okay. We just put hot water in a pot, and then we'll heat it up on the stove if we really need hot water to like wash dishes. And then we just go to like the public showers and stuff. So we don't really need hot water, so that's not a big issue. But I'll get into that. So as far as the black water tank, I had tried everything. I used a snake down the toilet. Didn't work. I back flushed from the outside, flushed water up it. First time broke my hose because there was so much pressure. The second time it just burst the whole thing right off the connection. Still no sewage or anything would come out of it. I tried calling places. I tried to call, regular plumbers. They're like, no, we can't deal with it. I tried to call RV places. They're like, we're backed up like 2 to 3 months. Finally, I found a place, Clean Tank, Clean Plumbing. I will put a picture of them in this video right now. It's Clean something, Kleen, Clean Tank or Clean Plumbing. They're all over the US. Highly recommend them. The closest ones to me were in Indiana. So I called them a few weeks ago and, talked to the lady, and she's like, yeah, I'll be able to come up. But we're on vacation, whatever, for a couple of weeks. I'm like, that's fine. I don't need you till the 29th of June. That's when we go. So as long as you can get here before then, it'd be fine. So they finally came up, and they hooked up. First, she tried snake in the toilet, and she's like, doesn't seem like anything's in there. They hooked up from the outside, and they're, spending like a half hour scratching their heads. Like, we can't figure it out either. It doesn't seem like anything's clogged, but we can't figure out why it's not coming out. So there's two guys, a husband and wife. And the wife was inside, putting water down the toilet or whatever, doing stuff that way. And he was, watching the outside. And he's looking at the black water outlet, and he sees the pipe go across to the other side of the motor home. So he's looking, so he decides to walk around to the other side of the motor home, and he looks under there and saw there's another black water release on that side. So our line has two releases, one on one side, and I thought I had video of it because I'm not where the motor home is right now, but I'll show you on a video. So it's right in front of the right side tire, back tire, is a release valve. And then the other one's on the other side where it would normally be, right next to the gray water release. So basically you have to pull both of these for the black water to come out. Did not know this. They're taking pictures and videos. They're like, we've never seen this. Usually if you have that where you have two releases, it's because you have two different tanks. Maybe you have two showers or something in your motor home. We only have one tank. So like, we don't get why there's two release valves on this. They're like, well, we're taking pictures, take video. Now, if anyone ever has this problem, they can't figure it out, we can tell them, hey, go around to the other side, make sure there isn't another valve, release valve on your motorhome. So super simple fix. Like I said, they came from Indiana, and they're like, you know what? We'll just charge you, since we really didn't do much, we just figured out the problem. We're just going to charge you $100 for travel, which was amazing. Like, you came all the way from Indiana, and you're only going to charge $100. So again, Clean Tank, Clean Plumbing, or Clean Septic. I will show a little picture of what their actual name is. Highly recommend them. Again, they were the only ones that would actually come and help us. So got that figured out. We're like, great, we can go camping now. Because this was just a few days before the 29th of June to go for, Labor Day, or not Labor Day, 4th of July. So the morning of the 29th, we get it all loaded up. We're ready to go. I park it on, the side of the driveway at my parents' and have their old Prius sitting in front of it. I go to move the Prius and it won't start. It's dead. So whoever used it last left the light on or something in there, battery's dead. If you know anything about Prius, it's all electric. Everything's electric. Luckily, I could get the door open because you could still use the key. There's a little key spot where you could open the door. The battery's in the back of the car, like underneath the trunk or something, where like a spare tire would be. It's there. They do have a jump port in the front. And I don't know if I have any video of the front. Like, they got this car from our neighbor really cheap. The front end's kind of smashed up. So it's a little pain to open the hood. But the jump port in the front, the positive port, is like this. Like, there's a little screw in a little tiny square like that. My jumper cables are huge. I could not get the jumper cables to latch onto that screw. Like, the little jump port area is so small. I don't know if they sell tiny jumper cables. I tried to just lay it on it. I Googled and checked out ChatGPT, and it's like, maybe you could just lay it, as long as it's touching it, it might still jump. It wouldn't. So I'm like, oh, shoot. So now I'm looking to call a wrecker or someone to come get it. Like, we're ready to go. The big problem was, and I have a picture of this, my son had rented a dumpster. So he bought my parents' house, and he's cleaning some stuff out. So we have a big dumpster right next to the motorhome, and then the Prius in front of it. And I wasn't thinking there was enough room. Finally, my mom's looking at it. She's like, you know what? Maybe you can back it up and be able to pull out of there. We don't have to wait for a tow truck. So that's what we did. We're able to finally maneuver the motorhome out between the Prius and the dumpster. I think that was the last issue. So again, recapping some of the issues I've had with this. Obviously the septic, the hot water not working. God, there was a couple others. I'm trying to think. When we went to leave for Memorial Day weekend, the motorhome wouldn't start. I thought it was dead. It's because, you put it in park and sometimes it still won't start. You got to like hit it again, like push it a little farther over in park and then it'll start up. So it took me 15 minutes to figure that out. When we plugged it in for Memorial Day weekend, we, pulled out our big, yellow cord to plug into, and it wouldn't reach to the electric outlet, so I had two to plug together. Plugged it in, it was working fine, and all of a sudden, where I had the two connected started smoking and sparking. So we had to get new cords for that. What else is going on? I feel like there's some other things, and maybe I've mentioned them in other videos of some issues I've had. Again, because I've always gone camping with them. I just kind of show up after they have the motorhome set up. So trying to figure all the stuff that my dad did with this thing, it's been a learning curve. I'm getting there. We camped with my uncle and aunt, and they're like, wow, you're turning into a camper now. You're starting to figure everything out. I'm like, yeah, it's getting a little easier now that I can figure out all the nuances of this motorhome. So we camped up by Ludington in Michigan, Scottville up there right on the river. Have a little video right next to a bridge where kids were jumping off of, even though the water level was so low there. I can't believe they were jumping off that bridge that high into like 3 or 4 foot deep water. But camping went good. Back now, got the motorhome put away. We won't use it again until I think October. We'll be going up to the UP here in a couple of weeks to stay in a cabin, so we don't need the motorhome or anything. But yeah, I think the next camping trip for that motorhome won't be till like late September, early October. So finally got that septic figured out. So if you're having any issues and you're trying everything and you can't get your septic to drain or unclog, just check and see if there's 2 black water pulls, releases, which you should know. I mean, obviously, if anyone bought a motorhome, whoever they bought it from would tell them. I'm taking over kind of a motorhome from my dad. And unfortunately, he passed before he could like go over all the little tips and tricks on the thing of how to do stuff. So figuring it out, but we're getting there. So at least we finally got that drained, and now we don't have any issue with it because we know there's 2 release valves. All right, until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Gideon, you want to say anything? It's hot out here. It's hot everywhere, right? Like, this is a crazy summer. So hot. I mean, look at Boo's like, she's out down there. What are you doing? All right, we'll see you soon.